All right, peace, everybody. I'm not even gonna do my whole intro. I'm just gonna jump right into it. I had a video on my TikTok where I talked about how I was going through a lot of trauma as a child and how difficult it was for me to get out of that trauma mentality and how it felt like everybody took everything away from me for so long, and how um, how it would seem like everybody took a piece of my heart but could never really give any of it back. And I was talking about how, as of, I don't want to say recently, but over the past few years, I've been looking at everybody like they're an abuser, they're nothing more than a thief or a taker, whatever the case is. And so for me to be positive, started to become a chore, because my ego is taken over for so long, trying to protect me, and I've been trusting it. But I know that it's time for me to level up and let go of the protection that my ego has been giving to me all this time. In terms of my trauma, that trauma is over. You know what I'm saying? All those events, all those situations, they're over now. And so for me to stay positive, I'd be saying to myself, well, if I want to manifest, I have to be on a higher frequency. And so I've been trying to manifest and keep myself on a higher frequency. The problem is is the higher frequency doesn't stay once I go back to a negative mentality. So if I'm positive and I do something positive for, like, let's say a week or whatever, and I'm like, okay, it's almost like expecting a check from the universe. It's almost like, you work hard to stay positive, and then you're asking, where's my reward? And that's what I was doing for the past few years, instead of getting back on a higher frequency just because I'm worthy of it. And what makes me nervous about being worthy of something like that is, when I was a child, I didn't even have to think about if I was worthy of it or not. I just lived. I just lived in that positivity. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, as I, just lived in it, I didn't think about trust. Um, I didn't think about anything except what I wanted to do next. You know what I'm saying? What I wanted to imagine next. Childhood, just childhood stuff. And so what I'm always trying to keep in mind, but it really full circled me last night after this full moon, was that just because you live, just because you go back to a place of positivity the way you were as your childhood self, doesn't mean you have to relive your trauma like your childhood self. And that protection that you didn't fully receive as a child, know that when you go back to your childhood like self, you are going to be triple or tenfold times more protected than you will ever know. All right, I'm gonna just reiterate that one more time. When you go back to, all of a sudden there's fucking lawnmowers behind me. When you go back to your childlike self, that self that didn't worry, that self that just used their imagination to be happy and live and all that good shit, when you go back to that mentality, that doesn't mean you're gonna go back to the mentality of trauma. You are already in that mentality of trauma. Now it's just about letting go. And I know, like, one of my biggest fears was, well, if I go back to my childlike self, if I go back to my original queendom, then will I actually be protected this time? Let me tell you something. There's a reason why you went through what you went through as a child and as a teen and as a young adult. But when you full circle and come back to your truest self, that protection on a physical level that you didn't receive, please know you're gonna be 20 times more protected. I'm keep hiking it up. You're gonna be 100% more protected than you ever was when you were growing up. Now you had a sense, there was a level of protection that you did have, from your ancestors and your guides on the other side. They protected you just enough so that you can survive through what you went through, because it was meant for you to go through that. And so now, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm talking about myself, you know what I'm saying, and whoever resonates with this. But now that I'm older, and I have found ways to communicate with my ancestors on a deeper level, that I am I am protected like crazy. There's many times I should have died. Like, I am extremely protected. And I realize, saying this out loud, that there's times where it feels like, you know, my ancestors aren't there, or that I don't hear them, or I feel clogged. That is because I'm transitioning to a childlike state of mind again. And as I'm transitioning to a childlike state of mind, I am I am, you know, there's parts of my mind that's clogged because I'm battling that fear. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, my ancestors are always here, and this is a reminder for you. Your ancestors, your guides, all of whom love you for real, on the deepest level, they're here. You know what I'm saying? So know that you're protected. Know that you are loved, and that you are always loved. And it's time for you to get back to your childhood state of mind and be at peace with yourself. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? Manifest the way you should be manifesting. You know, manifesting doesn't look like, oh, let me be positive for a week and then let me get my check from the universe at the end of it. That's not how it works. You know, it's about staying positive because you can, staying positive because you should, and staying in a higher frequency because you're worthy of it. You know what I'm saying? And that good karma, or that beautiful, loving, positive energy, that is a paycheck within itself. So I just wanted to come up on here. It's probably one of the quickest videos I've done. I'm here to tell anybody who specifically has been through abuse growing up. You know, I just want to tell you I love you, and just stay on a higher frequency, because you're meant to. You are so protected. You are so loved. A hell of a lot more than you know. You actually came out of situations where you actually could have died and you didn't even know it. You didn't even know it. You had guardians standing behind you the whole fucking time, baby. On some real shit. So, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow your abuse, or the abuse that you have went through, to get to you. Just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Be at peace, be at love, and enjoy life. Have fun.